Alrighty, so I'm starting to put the other side on. Last video I glued this edge here, and I'm starting to put the other side on, and basically it's just going to look like this, and then voila, a shoe is forming, and it looks similar to what we have. And how I'm doing this is what I've decided to do is to switch to my artist tape. It's white, and if you look in here, you can kind of see I'm using this, and I'm just kind of going down. That way, if I want to peel this out, I can. If I want to leave it in there, I can. It's camouflaged with the white already. It's not a major deal. So if you, so there might be this white tape there. I was using the blue tape, but then I had to glue on top of another slice of blue, and it would have glued it down. I wouldn't have been able to get it out. These I took out, and then I just added a little piece of white tape in the corner because there was a little exposed spot. And what I did was I just folded a piece of white tape, and I put it right down in the corner there. I used my little razor blade here to push it further into the corner. And then I just kind of plopped it down. And that will even secure it more to the side. And kind of do what I wanted it to do. The other thing is I can probably peel this off soon. And then you can kind of see that seam that's starting to form, which is cool. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm just taking tab by tab, one by one, and I'm putting the tab down. And I'm basically, at this point, I'm overlapping the tabs as I'm putting it down because it's such a curve here. And I don't know if you can see, oh, sorry if I'm not in your view. This tab here, you can see I put a bunch of tabs down there. And this tab, this flap here, I'm gonna glue. Put a little dab of glue, kind of right. Are you kidding me? Sorry, I have a little bit of an issue. Okay. I'm putting a little bit of a dab of glue there. You can kind of see it. And make sure the tab touches the glue, smears out on my fingers. And of course, I don't have any of this pre-ripped, and it's nice to have this pre-ripped. You kind of see I'm just taking these little tiny pieces, pre-ripping them. And I will, looking at the outside to say, that looks good to me, I'm going to tape it down. And then I'll just give that a minute to tack, hence tacky glue. And then eventually I'll have my curve the way I want it. And I can start to work on the other parts of the shoe. And what I would probably do next is, and I'll make a video about this, but I'm starting to study this. Like so far I have this done, right? I don't have this part complete. I don't have the tongue done. You know, that's all later on. Right now, I'm just concerned about the side walls. Do I put this part in first? Possibly. I think this might go in next. I can actually put it on top, I'm not sure. But it is a tricky thing when you're tracing around and then you have to kind of follow all the way around. To get that perfect curve, it's really hard. So what I suggest is to put a seam down the middle the same way we put a seam here. It's easier to trace half of it, draw it out, and then trace the other half, draw it out. And then either you can connect them and then draw one big shape like a smiley face, or you can just make it in two parts. And you might have to do both to see which fits well, because it's gonna be tricky to line this up exactly as is. And remember, the base of this is what we traced. The top of it is a little bit thinner. We did sand this down, but the top of this doesn't match the top of this exactly. So there's gonna be some room for error, which is nice about these tabs because they kind of move a little bit and they allow you a little flexibility. Also, this feels like one big piece too, kind of wrapped all the way around. And if we had that template from Nike, whatever, you could probably figure exactly what it was as a size shoe that this is. But since we don't have that luxury, I would definitely cut this in half as well so I can get this side. And you could try to draw all the way around. I'll give it an attempt, but it's going to be hard to bend and then get it accurate. So I'm just going to probably cut it in half, do one side, then draw the other side and try to go that route. But little by little, it's starting to form, and it's exciting at this point because you're getting over the halfway point and it's building and building. Now, I'll talk about another thing here too. See the thickness of all these walls here? That's really simple to add on. You can just trace this shape or take your template that you drew, and then what you can do is just take a little piece here about this big, trace that out, cut that out of the foam core, maybe 2 or 3 pieces, and then wrap it around 2 or 3 times, and then you're gonna get that thickness. And then after that, you can just sand it to get that curve, or you can carve it a little bit, just like we were carving before to get that curve. And you can even carve this side. Once this is down and glued, it will be a little more sturdy. And then you can get that round look. So that's actually pretty easy. I don't mind that. The hard part is gonna be this guy and getting this guy down. That's my challenge. That's where I'm nervous. Now, another thing I want to bring up too. If you look at these, this part here and how it zigzags in, there's little holes and stuff like that. That shouldn't be that difficult to make. And basically you're just going to make this and then you're going to glue it on the inside so you won't see. So it doesn't matter what it looks like in there because you can't see it. So you can be a little rough with it. Eventually I'm going to have to try to figure out how to hide some of these tab slices here. I don't love that. And then here it gets a little ugly. So I'm gonna have to try to figure that out as well. Here it kind of looks good. I'm okay with that. Maybe I can use, I can probably like cut paper, rip a piece of paper off, slice it, and then I could just get tweezers and kind of go in there and clean it up. I might do that, I might not, who knows? We'll get to that point when we get there. But for now, you can kind of see it starting to form, and it's exciting when things start to come together. That looks good, I'm happy with that. This is a really simple thing to put on. Clearly it's just, could just be a thin sheet of, well, it's gonna be foam core, but you're gonna put this on, it's just a shape, and it's easy to trace. That's really simple. That's at the very end. All right, so I'm just gonna continue to glue this one by one until it looks like so, and then I'll make another video. Alrighty.